Is this the best EDC flashlight in 2025? We're about to find out. What's up, fellas? Welcome back to Loadout EDC. Today, we have the Wuben G5, and this is something that has been hyped up all over the internet. And guess what? The initial retail cost as of today is $19. This is going to sell out like hotcakes, so you better get your hands on it right away because a light that's this powerful at only $19 is unreal. So let's go over some of the features. As you can see, this is a cool white and RGB flashlight. Don't get too lost into the gimmicks with the RGB because there are definitely some great beneficial uses of it. To start off, the Wuben G5 comes in multiple colors. I've got army green here, I've got black right here. But the crazy part about this flashlight is it has a 180-degree rotating head. Any position that you need, this flashlight will hold it. And what makes this even better is it does have a pocket clip and a magnetic base to top that off, as well as a lanyard loop here on the side. So this thing does have you covered in many situations. So let's check it out. We do have a mechanical lockout mode right here. All you got to do is flip this down and that's going to lock out your flashlight. You won't accidentally activate it in your pocket. That is a really big deal in the flashlight world, especially for me. I am big on mechanical lockouts. I need my flashlights to have mechanical lockouts for me to trust that my flashlight is not going to power on in my pocket. All the way down to lock it out. We've got one up to put it in its activation mode and then slide it all the way up, and now you have the USB-C charger. How much better can it get? Also, this is dust-proof and water-resistant, which is crazy because it has this sliding feature to access the USB-C charger. This is waterproof to up to 2 meters for an hour. So that's actually really good that it has that capability, considering it has this, what would look like to be an exposed USB-C port. But honestly, maybe you can leave this wide open and it's not going to be an issue, considering I have seen USB-C ports such as like iPhone or other flashlights out there that can take some water resistance. So keep in mind, this is a $20 flashlight. I don't know how they were able to pack this kind of technology in a $20 flashlight, but somehow they did. Also, consider the size. Look at the size of my hand. I have a pretty good size hand, but look how tiny this flashlight is. Just around 2.5 inches tall, about 1.5 inches wide, and about a 1/2 inch thick. This is a tiny little guy. This can really be carried anywhere, anyway, in many different situations. So as you know, it does have a cool forward-facing white as well as an RGB light. It can be changed to many different colors using this little dial right here. Very simple, very clicky. So this little dial allows you to change the colors, press and hold, and you get back into the white light, and it also allows you to change the brightness. So we can crank that brightness up. Check it out. And it also has that little indicator telling you you're at max brightness. So as you can see, it flashes to tell you you are at max brightness. The max brightness is 400 lumens on the turbo mode. So another way to get to turbo is just double tapping, and now you've got full turbo capabilities. The RGB light is 10 lumens. It is not adjustable. It's just 10 lumens RGB. This will be excellent for whenever you want to preserve your night vision. You can use red or blue. Honestly, the ones that I would use is probably just red and amber. I really love amber lights because it gives you that nice warm kind of color. It's a really great nighttime kind of mode. It gives you that warm light. It doesn't strain your eyes too bad. So that's kind of the way that I would rock it. Probably amber or red. Now the emitter on here is a very cool emitter. I did get 2 of these, hoping that one was going to be a warm emitter and one was cool. But I believe both of these are around 65,000 plus Kelvin. These are very cool lights, and I really would like to see these in a warm or neutral color temperature, but they are very cool, especially compared to some of my other flashlights out there. Now, these do have beacon modes, so you double tap from the off state, and now you got those police flashy lights. Now we have red and green flashing. I honestly don't know why there's all these different colors. Let me know in the comments if you know. We've got red and yellow flashing. And then we're back to the red and blue flashing. So those are kind of the blinky modes that we've got. You can also put this in the RGB mode and then double tap, and that gives you just a nice beacon. So this would be really great to put in the red mode. So it looks like once you're in the beacon, you can't change with the dial what color you want. You have to take it out of the beacon, then change the color. So let's put it in red because this is what you would want to do. Put it on a backpack at night when you're biking or walking. Now you've got a nice beacon. And you know what's great about having two of these? You can double it up. You can have this one be your rear light and this one be your forward-facing light. You can put this on a hat. You can strap it to a bike. You can strap it to literally anything. It's so small. You could zip tie it. You can put it on a lanyard. It also has pocket clips on the side. There's many uses that you can use for these. Think about it. That's $40 right here in value that you can use in pair to work with each other for multiple uses. Like I said, we've got the beacon here that you could have on the back of you and the forward-facing one on the front. They're so small. Throw them in your pocket. That is so nice. Like, imagine having 400 lumens smaller than your palm. I mean, man, this takes up less space than a cell phone, a wallet. Really small, compact. These will be great in many situations. So here's something that kind of confused me at first because I got these almost fully charged. So I did a press and hold hoping that I was going to be getting a moonlight mode, and it was a solid blue. So I go, oh, okay, that's like their moonlight mode. It's just a solid blue RGB mode. Well, turns out that's the charging indicator. So if you check out here in the manual, red means charging, blue means it's fully charged. And if you do a press and hold and it's a solid blue, that means it's 90% or more. If you press and hold and you get that flashing blue, that means it's 90% to 40% in that range. And then if you get a solid red, it's 40% to 15%. And a flashing red means you're below 15%. So that means you got to charge that bad boy up. So that's good to know, to keep that in mind, especially if you're ever in a situation where you think you're going to need it for a longer period of time. Definitely read the manual and check that out. This will also last you 65 hours at its lowest brightness level and a little bit less than an hour in full turbo mode. And as we talked about, it's got this dial here. If it's facing towards you and you pull down, it's going to make it brighter. If you go up, it's going to make it darker. It's going to be the opposite when you go the other way. So down is going to be dark and up is going to be bright. So just keep that in mind depending on which way you have the light facing you or which way you have this oriented. The dial really goes by clockwise or counterclockwise. So if you turn the dial clockwise, it's going to get brighter. And if you go counterclockwise, it's going to get dimmer. That's probably the easiest way to go about it. Now, something that kind of bummed me out is whenever you're in the white mode, there is no flashing mode from here. So you don't get strobe, you don't get SOS. It's only in the RGB mode, as far as I'm aware. Now, as I've mentioned, it does have a pocket clip. Now, it is a really unique pocket clip because it can go forward, it can go sideways, which is how you'd want to store it, or you can flip it around to the backside. Now, one thing I'll mention about the pocket clip is it's not the strongest looking clip. Kind of feels a little flimsy, a little weak. Not sure how it's going to hold up, but Wuben's got their 5-year warranty on this. So it's not something that you should be concerned about by any means, but definitely something to consider when buying a light like this. So there's many different ways that you can carry this flashlight. I would consider carrying this in a pouch, in your pocket, a shirt pocket so you have a nice forward-facing light, a backpack so you can use it as a beacon. You could strap it down to something with zip ties. You can carry it around your wrist with the included lanyard. You can also clip this thing to your hat, and now you have a light that's rotatable. So you can have something that's facing down whenever you're working on something. Say you're reading a book. This might be a great little reading light. You can also move it forward, move it up. There's many different ways that you can use this to make it work best for you. And also keep in mind, it is magnetic on the bottom. One little gripe I have with the magnet on the bottom is it's not balanced. So if you ever put it on a magnetic surface, it might rotate down a little bit if it's not sticking perfectly. It might slide a little bit in one direction. It's mainly when you stick it to a surface this way that's a really smooth surface. It might start dipping to one direction or the other. But that's just because the magnet isn't placed in the center of gravity of the flashlight, so it's not going to be perfectly balanced. There's definitely going to be ways around it that you can make this grip a little bit better to make it work for you. But that's just something that I noticed whenever I was using it. So let's go over some of the stats. At its lowest setting, it's at 2 lumens. So we got 2 lumens right here. At full brightness, which is turbo, that is 400 lumens. It has an 82 meter throw, 1 meter drop resistant, and IP68 waterproof rating, which is 2 meters underwater for an hour. This weighs 1.84 ounces. Very lightweight flashlight. And again, it's just around 2.5 inches tall, around 1.5 inches wide, and around 1/2 inch deep. So keep that in mind. It's small, it's lightweight. It really is an easy carry light. Now, if you guys have any questions about this flashlight, please let me know in the comments below. I'm here to answer any questions. I've been testing these out myself as of lately. and I'm still kind of learning this light, trying to figure out what I do and don't like about it. There's really no big gripes that I have. I think it's a great light, especially for the price of only $19. Like I said, this thing's going to go quick. This is a really great light to have. I could see myself getting a bunch of these things. I really do like the small, compact kind of flashlights, but this is just so versatile. There's just so many ways that you can use this. Having a magnet, having a pocket clip, a rotating head, the size that it is, a mechanical lockout mode. There's just nothing that I can really complain about with it. So again, if you guys have any questions about this, please let me know in the comments below. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and until then, we will see you in the next one.